Good morning, everybody. Salem with D9J Sports. Right back at you again with another show. We're going to continue on. This is week 2 of high school football in Texas, and we're going to be breaking the Jasper Bulldogs down as they travel up to take on the Palestine Wildcats Friday night in Palestine Stadium. Now, before we start, you know what I'm going to need? I'm going to need you to hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Now the numbers are coming up. Some for you guys, like I said yesterday, you guys who are and girls who are actually subscribing, we definitely appreciate it. For those of you who haven't, once again, I'm going to be patient. The numbers are coming up slowly, and hey man, this is fun for me to be able to break down these games and break down some of these teams, and I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I would just hope that you guys and girls will continue to hit the like and continue to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe so you can get your notification when another video comes out, especially when we're going to be doing your team. You're going to know what we're talking about when we're breaking down your team. So let's get to it. Both, like I said, both teams coming off a loss. They're both going to be 0-1. They're both 0-1 going to this game. So as they say in boxing, somebody's O's got to go. But in this case, it's going to be somebody's going to get a win, and somebody's going to go to fall to 0-2, and hopefully for each team, I know you guys are going to be hoping that you guys can get into the win column. So let's start with the Palestine Wildcats, coached by Coach James Reyes. Now, Coach Reyes is actually familiar with the Jasper program. For those of you who don't know, Coach Reyes is coming down he's formerly coaching down in Lumberton. Now, we haven't played Lumberton in several years, but they used to be in our district and used to play them all of the time. And I think our next game for the Jasper Bulldogs is going to be against those Lumberton Raiders. And they took it on the chin. So Coach Reyes knows how it is to play football down in this area in the 409, and he knows what kind of football we play. So he knows how physical it is. So he's going to have his team up in Palestine. They're going to be ready to play. Now, some of the players that you want to watch for Palestine is old quarterback Court Cooper. Now, Court is a pretty good player, man. Last week, the weather was bad, and they didn't get to do all the things they wanted to do because the game kind of snowballed on them. But best be assured, Court's going to have it together this Friday night. He's going to be wanting to spread that football around and make plays with his feet when he has a chance to. But most importantly, he likes to put that ball up in the air. And they like to run different type of formations. They've got a big running back, old Draylon Spurlock. Now, Draylon's a big kid. He's physical, and he likes to tote that football. Okay, so he's going to be a big guy and hard tackle if you're the Jasper Bulldogs. Also, offensive linemen and defensive linemen. You've got offensive lineman Ronnie Williams and defensive lineman Joseph Flynn. These are some big, and I mean big young men. These are some big young men. So if you watch the video when I broke down Nacogdoches versus Palestine, I talked about those kids and the size. Like around 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds. So they're gonna be a handful for the Jasper Bulldogs. So as we look back last week, what happened to the Palestine Wildcats is inclement weather and turnovers. Right out of the jump, you guys had a good drive, and you fumbled the ball, and then they were able to push the ball in, and that effective quarterback for Nacogdoches was able to score on you guys, and it kind of snowballed after that. And you kind of picked it up in the middle of the third quarter. You scored a couple of times, but by that time the game was out of hand. So number one key for Palestine, you got to hold on to the football. Can't throw interceptions, can't put it on the ground, can't have bad snaps. Got to hold on to the football. Now, that's been a reoccurring thing, Palestine, hasn't it? That's a rhetorical question. It's been a reoccurring thing because the last 2 times you played the Jasper Bulldogs, you guys were playing good, and you had those turnovers. So you don't want to have those turnovers, and that's always going to be our number one key in any game that we break down is the turnovers. So hold on to the football. Next thing, keys to victory. Coach, this is one of those games where you're going to need to slow the game down. You're going to need it. I know you guys like to put that football up, but hey, let that big running back, let old Spurlock, let him tote that football. You're going to need to slow the game down and make it a short game, Coach, and let those big, and I do mean big, gigantic linemen do their thing and try to drive the football down a Jasper Bulldogs' throat. Now, to the coaches and the fans and everybody in Palestine, I'm here to tell you, The Jasper Bulldogs just think, well, hey, man, we're going to play Palestine. We done beat them a couple of years in a row. So we're just going to get our season back on track. We're going to go up to Palestine, and we're going to get us a victory. And we're going to fix those things that we had go wrong against Chapel Hill, and we're going to get on track. You going to let them just come in there and do you like that? I'm here to tell you that's what the Bulldogs are thinking. We're going to go up to Palestine, and we're going to manhandle them, and we're going to try to run the score, and we're going to beat the Palestine Wildcats. So, Coach, I'm telling you, you got to have them ready to play. I know you guys will be ready to play. Now, next key to victory. Once again, force the Jasper Bulldog quarterback to beat you. Force him to beat you. Force him to beat you. Force him to beat you with his legs. And what I mean by that, hey, you know that the Jasper Bulldogs got a couple of weapons. They got the big tight end, wide receiver, whatever they're playing them at, and we will talk about that when we break the Jasper Bulldogs down. But they've got that Roger Garza-Adams. And Roger Garza-Adams is going to go get it. He's going to go get it, and he got that speed. He'll catch that football. Hey, Coach, roll coverage over to him. Play cover two. Play cover two. Have that corner when he jams him. Instead of going 5 to 7 yards, have him back off by 8 yards when he jams him. Have that safety roll over. Take Roger Garza-Adams out of the game. Take him out of the game. Have your defensive end chip. And have him. And when they put the big tight end, Keaty Armstrong, in the tight end slot, hey, jam him. Roll that linebacker over to him. Put the rest of the people on your team. Put them on the line of scrimmage. You can't let them start running with the running back. So you're going to have to force that quarterback to run the football. Nah, don't let him run it inside. Force him to do what he likes to do. Let him do what he likes to do. He likes to run the ball outside and hit him, Coach. And when I say hit him, Palestine, you hit him. You hit him over, and you hit him over, and you hit him over again. Chances are something's going to happen. It's not going to be good either. Okay? Palestine, kick the ball in the corner. Don't kick it deep. Roger Garza-Adams is going to be waiting on it. He's going to be waiting on it. He's going to be waiting on it. And once he breaks free, it's a wrap. Okay? So those are you guys' keys to victory. You guys' keys to victory. And we're going to see what you guys are going to do. So before we move on to the Jasper Bulldogs, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the channel. I know you're going to do it. So in saying that, let's move on to the Jasper Bulldogs. And as you know, so I'm looking down. I read my notes off. But this one, the keys to victory for the Jasper Bulldogs, I don't need any notes. I was at the game Friday night, and I seen for myself. So let's talk about the Jasper Bulldogs and what I consider to be their keys to victory. As usual, we're going to start off with no turnovers, dogs. No fumbles. No fumble snaps. No pick sixes. No pick sixes. Okay? So I know the coaches, they've got back to work. The Jasper Bulldogs, I actually rode through a few minutes ago, headed up across town, take care of a couple of things. And I saw the Bulldogs. They were out there. That practice is actually about over with from what I saw. And so Coach Crumity has got them back to work early, and I'm sure that he probably ran them pretty good this morning. So the Dogs are right back at it. So second on the list after turnovers, and this one's going to be, for me from watching the game, Jasper Bulldogs, key to victory. Keep your composure. You got to keep your composure, young man. You got to keep your composure whether you're winning the game or whether you're losing the game. You got to keep your composure. You can't have a 3 and out and then all of a sudden you get a 15-yard penalty per personal foul because the other team's being boneheads or knuckleheads. We don't play football like that in Jasper. Hey, man, we want to keep our composure. That's the next one. Okay? Next on the list, Jasper Bulldogs. We have to establish, who are we now? Who are we? Are we going to be a team that's going to go just throw bombs all of the time? Are we going to be a team that's going to run the football? What's going to be our identity? We have to come up with our identity. I would say number one on the list in this game, we need to establish the run. We got to establish the run and set up the pass. We got to establish the run to set up the pass in this game. That's going to be key. Next on the list, quarterback Isaiah Coleman. Can't be run out of bounds this game, young man. I would say that, Coach, you need to run him on some quarterback draws. It's kind of one of those things where he likes to get outside with that speed, but that doesn't. When you're playing some teams like last week in Chapel Hill and they got speed, you're not gonna outrun anybody outside. Going south like that. You got to go north and south is what I mean. Okay, you can't go east and west towards sideline because that's not going to work. Because everybody in football, this is not track. Everybody's able to run. They've got football speed. So you've got to turn that football up inside, young man. You can't keep running out of bounds. And sometimes, as a quarterback, you got to make some plays. Now, I would not sit here and critique a player if I didn't play that position. But for all of you who know me, you already know. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. You already know. So, Isaiah, make some plays. You got to make some play. You got to turn the football up inside, not outside. Coach, if he goes 5 yards outside the hash mark, y'all probably going to want to have a talk with him. Hey, there's a reason why you can be effective with that speed. But you can't do it outside. You got to get up inside, tote the football, and get some first downs. That's what you got to do. Because I'm telling you, they're going to put the game in your hands. They're going to be trying to make you beat them, Isaiah. They're going to try to make you beat them. Next, we got to throw some tunnel screens, some bubble screens. Can't just drop back and throw it out to Keati because he's out wide throwing bombs. That's not going to be effective. It's not going to be effective. Okay, that's a key to victory. And next, Coach Malcolm, hey, I think that last week you done a great job. Even though the score was not indicative that you might have done a good job. Hey, but all those 3 and outs, hey, they put you in a bad spot this week, Coach. Go ahead and turn them loose. Go ahead and turn them loose and find out who wants to tackle somebody, Coach. Because sitting in the stands, we were not wanting to tackle. But this week, Coach Malcolm, go ahead and turn them loose. And then that way, as we're trying to progress, we can figure out who wants to be a dog, who wants to be a real bulldog, and who wants to shy away from that contact. Okay? This week, special teams. We got to make sure that we get some plays on special teams. Our punter, hey, young man, can't have like 2-yard punts. Can't have 2-yard punts. So those are keys to victory for the Dogs this week. We got to go up there and we've got to be able to play a good team football game, no penalties, no turnovers. Our quarterback, Isaiah, you got to be effective, young man. You got to be effective. I understand last week things can snowball, but hey, we've got to be effective. So I'd like to see you as a quarterback take that football and take it up the middle. Take it up the middle and explode and use that speed up inside, not outside. Okay? So, Coach Crumity, I know you've got them together. And hey, we've got a big one tomorrow, the 7th graders. We're going to be traveling down to Needland, and we're going to see what they're working with. And it's just a scrimmage, so and they're going to be ready for their first game. So we're going to come back tomorrow, and we'll go out with breakdown day 2 of the Jasper Bulldogs versus the Palestine Wildcats up in Palestine come Friday. Okay, and I know bands and cheerleaders. Hey, let's see who does the best this Friday night, because I will be reporting out on. Till next time, this is Alan with D9J Sports. I'm definitely out.